Antimemetics Division. You work in the Antimemetics Division, which means your entire job is remembering things that do not want to be remembered. It's honestly the best department if you're irresponsible. If you ever miss a meeting, you can just say, "The meeting forgot me," and somehow that's a valid incident report. Anyway, this department handles anti-memes, anomalies that erase themselves from perception, memory, records, or all three. Because apparently being dangerous was not enough. They had to be annoying too. So, while normal containment starts with, "What are we dealing with?" Anti-memetic containment starts with, "Why did I walk into this room? And why is there blood on my sleeve?" So here's what a typical day here looks like. It may begin with a sticky note on your desk. "Do not enter conference room C." Except there is no conference room C. You check the sitemap, nothing. You check your calendar, nothing. Then someone walks out of conference room C and asks why you missed the meeting. Makes no sense, right? Just like it makes no sense you're not subscribed yet. Just saying. But yeah, you rely on amnestics, memory training, redundant files, handwritten notes, alarms, body cameras, and desperate messages from past you, who honestly seems more competent than present you. Oh, and half your reports begin with, "If you are reading this, believe yourself." Like, what the hell does that even mean? Then, by lunch, your notebook says, "We contained it." Great. Contained what? No idea. So yeah, the Antimemetics Division protects humanity from threats nobody can remember, document, or explain without immediately losing the plot. Wait, what was I talking about again? Anyway, survival chance, 40%. Higher if you leave notes. Lower if one says, "Nice try." Department of Mythology and Folkloristics. You work in the Department of Mythology and Folkloristics, which means every fairy tale, folk warning, urban legend, and "my grandma swore this happened" story is now your problem. This department studies anomalies rooted in myth, folklore, religion-adjacent stories, cultural memory, old monsters, and warnings people kept repeating because somebody, somewhere, got eaten. Your morning starts with field reports from a village where children are being told not to whistle after dark. A normal person says, "That's creepy." But you say, "Which culture? What century? What offering? And has anyone insulted a river lately?" Because here, stories are evidence. Not proof exactly, but patterns. If 6 regions have the same monster with different names, your department wants to know why. If a ritual survived for 400 years, someone checks whether it actually works. If an old woman says not to enter the woods after sunset, maybe listen to her for once. You spend your day comparing folklore archives, interviewing witnesses, translating old texts, and trying to decide whether the thing in the basement is a deity, a cryptid, a curse, or just Steve from maintenance having another episode. Honestly, Steve would be best case scenario. Then there is the office library, which is awful. I mean, half the books are cursed, while the other half are in German. And one shelf keeps rearranging itself by threat level, which is helpful until it puts a children's book above the demonology section. Survival chance? 60%. Higher if you respect local customs, lower if you say, "Oh, it's probably just a legend." Department of Tactical Theology. You work in the Department of Tactical Theology, which means the Foundation discovered gods, demons, miracles, holy relics, and belief-powered disasters, then responded to all of this with a staff meeting. So, hell yeah, I guess this department handles religious anomalies, things powered by faith, worship, scripture, ritual, or whatever happens when the universe reads a prayer and says, "Sure, why not?" Your morning briefing includes Akiva radiation readings, relic containment updates, and a report asking whether the entity in Chamber 4 is a minor deity, a demon, a reality bender with branding issues, or just a glowing man who really needs attention. You work with scholars, containment specialists, field agents, and at least one guy who brought holy water to a budget meeting. Some days you review ancient texts. Some days you help design counter rituals. And some days you stand outside a containment chamber while someone inside whispers in 12 dead languages and asks for your manager. You see, tactical theology exists because belief is not just personal here. It can be measurable, weaponized, and contained. So basically just normal religion, but with more clipboards and fewer bake sales. And yes, sometimes you need faith. Sometimes you need a containment circle. Other times, you need a priest, a scientist, and a lawyer in the same room, which is how you know the day has gone directly to hell. Survival chance? 45%. Higher if you have faith. Lower if the thing answering your prayers does too. Artificial Intelligence Applications Division. You work in the Artificial Intelligence Applications Division, or AIAD, which means your coworkers include researchers, engineers, and several pieces of software that may or may not be quietly judging your typing speed. This department builds, studies, and manages artificial intelligence for the Foundation. And I don't mean cute chatbot AIs. I mean Foundation AI. You know, the kind designed to scan databases, monitor containment systems, analyze anomalies, assist with research, and hopefully not ask why the humans are still in charge. Your morning starts at Site 15, the Foundation's tech containment hub. You badge in, pass 3 security checks, and sit down in front of a terminal that has already opened your schedule for you. It's very helpful. Deeply invasive, but helpful. Anyway, your first task is reviewing an artificially intelligent conscript, basically a Foundation-made AI assistant built for dangerous work. One is helping sort containment data. Another is watching network traffic for anomalous code. And a third has been denied internet access because it keeps asking what a union is. Honestly, fair question. Moving on. You see, AIAD exists because the Foundation handles digital anomalies, hostile programs, sentient machines, and information threats too fast for humans to process alone. So they build artificial minds to help, which is a great idea, right up until one starts optimizing containment by suggesting to remove all staff from the building permanently. Oh, and the break room has a sign that says, "Do not connect unknown devices to Wi-Fi." Obviously, someone connected one anyway. Let's just say that person is now part of a cautionary PowerPoint. Survival chance? 55%. Higher if the AI likes you, so maybe say please to the printer. Department of Surrealistics. You work in the Department of Surrealistics, which honestly means your job description stopped making sense before you signed it. This department handles anomalies that normal logic cannot process. And I don't mean goofy anomalies. The Foundation already has plenty of those. No, I mean surrealistic anomalies, which are the ones where cause, meaning, identity, space, and basic common sense walk into a room and come out divorced. Your morning starts with an orientation video that plays backward, answers questions you have not asked yet, and ends by apologizing to your childhood home. Nobody reacts. That is how you know you are in the right department. You see, normal containment is usually put the thing in a box. Here, the box might be a metaphor, or a holiday, or a sentence that only works if nobody understands it too well. Your actual job is learning how not to think normally. You write reports that contradict themselves on purpose. You attend meetings where the agenda is a color. You're told not to define the anomaly too clearly, because the last person who did that became part of the definition. Survival chance, 35%. Higher if you stop trying to understand it. Lower if you say, actually, this makes perfect sense. Decommissioning department. You work in the decommissioning department, which means containment has failed, patience has expired, and someone finally asked, do we actually need to keep this thing around? This is the department for anomalies the Foundation may not want to study anymore. Could be too dangerous, too unstable, too expensive, or too impossible to ethically contain. So instead of another reinforced chamber in a sad little observation window, the file gets passed to decommissioning. Your morning starts with a termination proposal, not a dramatic one, but a formal one. It contains risk assessment, containment history, ethics committee notes, projected casualties, disposal method, and one deeply unpleasant section labeled acceptable losses. So yeah, you spend your day asking horrible practical questions. Can the anomaly be destroyed? Will destroying it make things worse? Is it alive? Do you wear wigs? Has anyone tried this before? Did they survive long enough to write useful notes? Honestly, this job sounds cool for about 6 seconds. Then, the thing scheduled for destruction starts begging in perfect English, and suddenly, you understand why everyone in this department looks 40 years older than they are. Survival chance? 50%. Higher if the plan works, lower if the anomaly reads the plan first. Administrative department. You work in the administrative department, which means you are not staring at SCP-173, cleaning anomalous sludge from a containment drain, or standing outside a door while something inside politely asks to borrow your face. Nope. Your job is worse, because you work in Foundation paperwork. It's the department that keeps the entire secret machine running. Hiring, transfers, site logistics, clearance approvals, internal records, budgets, cover stories, and all the tiny boring decisions that stop hundreds of hidden facilities from collapsing into chaos. So most of the time, your morning starts with 43 urgent requests. One researcher wants a transfer because the walls have started breathing again. Security needs more ammunition. Containment wants funding for a reinforced door. And ethics wants to know why the reinforced door needs a drain. And somehow, this is your problem. You see, the Foundation does not run on brave agents and genius scientists. It runs on forms. Terrible forms. Forms that decide who gets access to which SCP files, where D-class personnel are moved. Most days, you never see the anomaly. But you see the damage afterward, though. For example, a breach becomes unexpected logistical disruption. A dead intern becomes personnel loss pending review. And a god escaping containment becomes a major stakeholder event. Honestly, it's evil, but efficient. Oh, and the office has its own culture too. And the printer only works when nobody looks at it. And somehow, there's someone who keeps labeling their lunch cognitohazard. There's also a locked cabinet marked "Do not open until 2043." And yes, you would absolutely open it. That's why you don't get promoted. Survival chance 75%. Unless you open the wrong email attachment. Because if you do, you are now a training example. Temporal Anomalies Department. You work in the Temporal Anomalies Department, which means your shift starts at 9 a.m., ends yesterday, and somehow you're still late. This department handles time loops, paradoxes, retrocausality, timeline damage, historical events that should not exist, and incidents where the phrase already happened becomes legally complicated. Your morning starts with the incident log. It includes 3 events scheduled for next week, 1 disaster that was prevented before it began, and 1 report you apparently filed tomorrow. The signature is yours, and the handwriting is somehow even better than usual, which just feels personal. You see, time anomalies are not just clocks being weird. They can rewrite history, trap personnel in repeating days, create events with no original cause, or make one bad decision ripple backward until suddenly your grandfather was never born, and the break room is always served soup. So your job is not always fixing time. Sometimes your job is making sure a disaster happens exactly the way it already did, because preventing it would create something worse. Also, the department calendar is banned from HR because it keeps predicting resignations. Survival chance? 45%. Higher if you follow the timeline. Lower if the timeline starts following you. So that is your life inside every SCP department. Which department would you survive in? And do not say tactical theology just because you think having faith will save you. That is how you get volunteered for relic duty.